Hey guys and girls, what's going on everybody? Just had a scan of YouTube last couple of days. I want to give a big shout out to Boxer 750, who recently had a bit of an off. A wee bit of an accident there. But it hasn't deterred him. He's got back on his bike and done a vlog around the Peak District today. So yeah, massive respect to him for not getting phased and jumping straight back on his bike. And also I want to shout out to that man from Yorkshire. When we went on the 26th of August around the Peak District, near the we had a bit of a stop near a reservoir somewhere, and just before that reservoir I was following him, and I'll put the movie up here so you can see. He's got basically, I'll put it in slow motion because it's you can't really see it when it's at true speed. He had a bit of a tail end squeaky bum time. Gone around the corner, seen some gravel. The gravel's just tweaked his arse out a wee bit. He's managed to sit up, let the power off, sit the bike up and ride it out, which he did quite well really, as you can see. So yeah, he did give me permission to put that up, so anybody who watches it and say, oh, he's trying to take the piss, no, he did give me permission, so I did ask him. So don't go get Larry at once. But it brings me on to a subject of accidents. As Boxer 750 has had an accident recently. That's Phil. I'm gonna go, oh bollocks. That's my uncle. Accidents, crazy. I've had 3 accidents on a bike. Well, saying bike, I'll tell you what, let me give it a bit of bike history first of all before I go into my accident. Obviously you get a push bike when you're a kid and you twist your wrist thinking it's a throttle and make the noise of a bike. So always had mountain bikes and BMX bikes. When I was about 17, 18, I decided I wanted an engine to go with the 2 wheels. So I ended up getting a Piaggio Vespa. You know, one of those Italian unreliable pieces of beeps. And all 3 of my accidents were on that 125 PX 125 Piaggio Vespa. So second bike I had, while one of my accidents caused a bit of damage to the bike, I put that into the Honda garages and they gave me a replacement bike. So they sorted me out with a Honda Cub 90, and from switching to that, from a Piaggio Vespa to a Cub 90, I was like, bloody hell. Because the wheels, for example, on a Piaggio Vespa, they're only little. And as I went round the corner on the Cub 90, I'm like, blimey, this is ace. So that sort of made me want a bigger bike. I was at that age, I needed to drive. So I did my car test, I got a van, and my next bike I had was a KTM 400 Enduro bike. I did a bit of motocrossing, which was a lot of fun. And next bike up was a Yamaha Thundercat 600, which is a great little bike. which was a great little bike for myself, because I think that bike taught me to ride on the road properly, because that was the first big road bike that I had. Obviously the off-roading helps a lot. YZF Thundercat, it made me learn on the road, and it wasn't an R1, it wasn't an R6, it was born from, well, it progressed on to be an R6 basically, but it wasn't that fast. It wasn't as fast as an R1, a Gixxer, a Aprilia Tuono, or a CBR FAL. You know, it was sort of a middleweight superbike. So I enjoyed that, and it was good learning, because it wasn't rapid as, but it was fast enough. Next bike up, Kawasaki Ninja 99, should I say, ZX-6, which was unbelievable. It was probably the best bike I've ever owned. Absolutely loved that bike. Woohoo! Yeah, I love that bike. Stonking bike, handling, speed. It was just amazing. Absolutely loved it. Point, while I was on that bike, I had a few near misses, and they were very, very dodgy near misses, because I was going berserk on that thing, because it was immense. It was just an immense bike. Eventually I blew the engine up, you know, shit happens. So I got a reasonably sensible bike in, voila, in the KLV. To be honest, if I could afford it, I'd have 5 bikes. But going off the subject just a little bit, I was talking about accidents. So all my accidents were on a 125 Piaggio Vespa when I was young, very, very young. They weren't my fault at all. I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. For example, these 3 women in the people carrier. I was coming up to some traffic lights. It's quite late. They'd just been to the pub, and the road's quite big, say like here. So there's a room for a car and half a car in the road. So I came up to the traffic lights. I was turning right. They were going straight on as far as I knew, because they weren't indicating. And I pulled up alongside them, and as I did, she decided she wanted to turn right and turned into me basically. Second accident, I was going down a busy row of traffic, filtering through, because it was a slow moving traffic, and there's parking spaces on the right hand side of the road, and this car all of a sudden decided he wanted to park in the space. I didn't look where he was going, obviously, and decided to turn right into me. There's a pub on the left hand side of the road, and I'm coming up the road, and this taxi driver had obviously just picked 3 people up, and he did the U-turn into me basically. That hurt, that did. It really did hurt. And me, my riding style, I like to keep up with the traffic, or keep ahead of the traffic. Yes, that is speeding a little bit, but I find if I stay to the speed limit, I'm in more danger. If you're ahead of traffic and you know what's going to happen, you can dodge in between. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. People aren't going to agree with that, but that's how I ride. And touch wood, since I've had a big bike, I haven't had an accident. Oh, we're up in this valley again. Reservoir down there. I'm not too sure where we are. Somewhere near Glossop, I guess. Yeah, it's nice. Nice little dam. Stones chipping all over. I just got one on my shoulder then.